So we're going to talk about two maturing technologies that are going to affect not just music education, but society at large. The first one we're going to talk about is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, when you say that word, you're probably thinking of this. When I say artificial intelligence, what I'm talking about is large learning models that have taken and analyzed oceans of data. They take this data and they find patterns that we might not be able to see as humans because analyzing as much data as a computer would take lifetimes. It then uses these patterns, this data, these ideas to generate new content that's never been seen before. A couple of examples of this are OpenAI's ChatGPT as well as DALL-E 2. On November 30th of 2022, ChatGPT was released and people lost their minds. This online chatbot allows you to communicate with a computer algorithm, with an artificial intelligence that will allow you to generate text, ideas, letters, emails, poems, song lyrics, computer programming code. It can do any of these things and it can carry it on like a conversation. Really, the sky is the limit. It can produce any type of text that you can pretty much imagine. Here's a quick example. So I'm going to say, write a poem from the perspective of a oboe player in a school wind band that is being forced to do long tones and doesn't want to. We're just gonna see what it comes up with. So far it's coming up with nothing. That's the problem. There we go. There we go. Beneath the podium I stand with reed in hand in this band. But what I'd rather you see is play a tune that's wild and free. Yet here I am stuck in this place with scales and long tones, no grace. I blow and blow with weary breath, my spirit crushed with nothing left. Why must I suffer this slow burn? It seems like a lesson I'll never learn. But then I think of music ahead and find the strength to play with my heart and my head. So I'll keep blowing these long dreary tones, for in the end it's what I've known. For though it may not seem like much, it leads me to greater love. Is that a slant rhyme? For music is not just a game, it's a passion, a flame, and though these long tones may be a chore, they will make my playing soar. Okay. Now, the same way that ChatGPT generates text, you can also generate images through a program that's called DALL-E 2, also by OpenAI, and there's lots of different programs that do this. You've probably seen them all over the internet. In general, you provide a text description of the image you'd want in the style you want, and it generates options for those images. So we're going to look at DALL-E. This is an image generator from OpenAI, and we're going to ask it to generate an image for us. So let's try this. Let's try piano with a platter of cheese on top, and let's say in the style of Rembrandt. There we go. Let's spell that word right. And we're gonna see what it comes up with. Okay, this is pretty good. Okay, so there's one right there. There's a piano with a platter of cheese. Option 2, oh, I love this piano. It's got spirally doos, that's great. And then we got another one right here. This is neat. Look, there's something coming out of the piano here. That one's getting kind of weird. And there, look at that, look at that. There's one piece of cheese on the piano, the rest is down there. Okay, so again, that's an image that didn't exist before, that within about a minute, bam, we've got 4 new images. So in addition to music and text and images, of course, video is next. That's the next step. Imagine being able to produce an entire movie. Just to give the plot, insert the actor names you want, and artificial intelligence would be able to create, a web video or a feature-length film even based on those ideas. Now, there are currently programs that generate music in this same way, that can generate background music and things like that. They're not particularly impressive. Like AI music generation is not as good as algorithm music generation like Band in a Box. But it's getting better, and it's going to get a lot better as soon as people commit these same ideas, these same resources to that particular problem. Now, what does all of this mean? It means a lot of things. It could completely change education. We could customize everything we're doing at the student level, like live up to the promise of what education that's completely student-centered could mean. It also could do crazy things to our economy because lots of jobs may not be necessary anymore. And that's really, really scary. In the future, I want you to imagine a scenario where you go to the artificial intelligence and you say, I would like you to write a marching show for me. It needs to be 6.5 minutes long. I want it written at a grade 3 level, except for the trumpet parts, which I'd like to be written at a grade 2 level. And then if you don't mind, could you also take and use these particular tempos, write it in this style, use these songs, and then I want to end with a really flashy moment that's at this tempo. And then can you also generate a bunch of flag designs based on this theme and write the drill for 65 people? It is entirely possible and even probable that 10 years from now, that type of AI generation for our field is going to be possible. And whoever gets there first is going to lead the market in this particular idea. The other technology that I would like to highlight is virtual reality and augmented reality. So virtual reality is being able to go into a virtual world and imagine something like Ready Player One.
The Oasis. This is the Oasis. It's a place where the limits of reality are your own imagination. You can do anything. Go anywhere. Like the Vacation Planet. Surf a 50-foot monster wave in Hawaii. You can ski down the pyramids. You can climb Mount Everest.
These technologies have come really far. In fact, you can purchase a Meta Quest, that's what this VR headset is right here, for about $300. This allows you to play virtual reality games completely wirelessly. The entire unit is contained there. It used to be you had to have a very high-powered PC or some type of console to play, but standalone headsets that are really good currently exist. Right now in VR, you can take and learn how to play the piano. And you can learn how to conduct. You can create music with virtual instruments. And listen, these things are way better than you think. And no, they're not perfect. This technology is not Ready Player One. That's not what this is yet. But it's way better than what you would think it is if you haven't used a modern VR headset. Now, augmented reality is different. Augmented reality is taking virtual things, virtual avatars, virtual whatever, and putting those things into the real world. I want you to imagine a classroom with augmented reality. If you'd like to have a guest artist or a guest clinician, right now they have to physically come to you. But with virtual telepresence through holograms, through augmented reality, you could take and have a guest artist in your room and it'd be almost indecipherable from if that person was actually there. It would look like they were there, it would sound like they were there, and outside of being able to not physically touch them, which is probably better anyway, you wouldn't know they weren't there. That could change things for a lot of people. That could grant access into places we don't currently have access. Imagine if you're teaching class and instead of having a poster or a handout or a video, a large three-dimensional model of a piano, of a symphony, of a famous composer, those things appear right in the room for you. Imagine that you switch your goggles over to virtual reality and now you're in a symphony hall hearing things. This could increase access to all of these things and make it something that could happen every day in our classroom. The immersiveness of these technologies for learning, for playing, for interacting with people is shockingly good right now, but it'll be amazing just a few years into the future. The thing about technology and about these technologies that gets really interesting is when you start to combine the two things. So imagine creating or engineering using both augmented reality and using artificial intelligence. It would look a lot like how Tony Stark engineers in movies like Avengers Endgame.
So I'd like to run one last sim before we pack it in for the night. This time in the shape of a Mobius strip. Invert it, please.
Processing.
Right, Give me the eigenvalue of that particle factoring in spectral decomp. That'll take a second.
These will allow us to create immersive environments. Think like the holodeck from Star Trek.
I've instructed the computer to give us a Sherlock Holmes type problem, but not one written specifically by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
So this will be something new, something created by the computer.
Exactly. Will that be sufficient, Doctor?
We'll see. Program complete. You may enter.
So everything that I'm describing inside of this video, of course, comes with upsides and downsides like everything else. And our society has to start grappling with the fact that these technologies are coming and they're coming soon. The last string of technologies, such as social media and phones, we're still grappling with the repercussions of these things. And this stuff is on the horizon. Everything I'm talking about in this video is not based on like speculation or science fiction. These are current technologies that are maturing and evolving right now. And if we assume that we will continue to make these technologies smaller, more affordable, and improve the graphics, then everything I'm talking about in this video is literally just right around the corner. And that's unbelievable. It's exciting, it's wonderful, it's terrifying, and it is coming.